All right. Welcome to my War Within commentary, the very early morning of. I'm Scott from Ramble Entertainment. As I'm sure many of you won't know me, those of you coming by who do know me, thanks for coming back, guys. If you want, there is a no commentary version of this, but I'm going to be pausing and just talking about things about the War Within story experience and my thoughts on it, and a lot of thoughts just leading up to this. So let's go ahead and get it started. You open the quest after you beat the Sedna Junction, and it sends you to the Codex to watch the cinematic. I kept viewing it, didn't realize I had to click begin. Oh man, this one part. The Grineer are so nice to each other, and especially their siblings. Shut the fuck up, worm! God! Can you believe her? Just, like... Obviously, I'm being dramatic, but, like... Shh! I'm gonna talk now! God! Somebody kill her. I'm done with this. Anyway, the Grineer are kind of supposed to be pretty nasty, but still, that's just she's calling her worm too. That's just like, okay. Additionally, when you finally do see the queens, the one does look very worm-esque, so it kind of makes sense, but still, shh, I'm not done, or I just started. God. I like that they, so from the trailer, they've changed a few things. They used volumetric lighting. No way! Man, they've really been tooting that volumetric lighting, but it looked awesome. And they also changed, convergence to continuity. Pretty cool, except, we already use continuity in, the game as basically duration, power duration. So, I don't know, when we finally get to what the convergence or the continuity is, it just seems like convergence might have fit better. That's a very nitpicky thing of me to say, but that's what I'm going to do. I love this game, and I love analyzing every part of it. So, you get sent to the moon, and things kick off pretty much right away. And I'll wait until we get to that cinematic to really talk about that. Oh yeah, accidentally went into a public mission. Additionally, if you want to play on a controller, I'm gonna warn you right away. I'm a controller player. I'm a PS4 player. I've spent I'm getting close to like 2,000 hours on my PS4, and this PC account that I have here only has just over 100. And yeah, I've invested a lot in my PS4 account, and I have friends there, and that's where I like to play. I have obviously a powerful enough PC to process the game, do video processing, but I just like that experience, and it's really not worth arguing. Not to me, anyway. So, yeah, I've kind of really enjoyed the crunch getting this account up in time. Only kind of approaching this quest at Master Rank 5 with a Bratton and an Adamus and an Orthos, and I got Nova. I was ready to approach this with Volt, especially if I could have gotten Capacitance, but I'm happy I'm here because last year when the second Dream dropped, I couldn't wait, and so I spoiled it for myself. I spoiled the shit out of it, and I was completely fine with that, and when it came to console, I was just like, this is awesome, and started doing Warframe shows. Please feel free to check those out, give them a view, give them a like, or your opinion. And yeah, so I decided to start tooling around with the PC account when Endo Treasures came out. I just was really interested in hunting those down, and then I started climbing, and as the War Within got delayed and delayed more, I was just like, I might actually be able to do this, and I did. So I'm super pumped about that because I get to be one of the people who's sharing their opinion about this, and that's pretty crazy. So here we run into Teshin, which was kind of surprising. For those who don't know, one of the trailers for The War Within, there he is, had Teshin, and it was kind of one of those like, what direction are they going to go with this? Now, I'm going to pause it right before the cinematic. At first I was just kind of like, so basically, Teshin, says some pretty grim words. You shouldn't have come here. You've ruined us both. And of course, we're meant to question, is he actually bad, or, what's going on? And of course, we'll get to what actually happens coming up here, but coming up in the other parts of the commentary. But basically, I'm happy with where it landed. At first, my thought was it would be pretty epic if, this character who has been kind of this, I don't want to say central part. PvP is important to Warframe, but obviously it doesn't compare to co-op. And so, or at least not in my mind to most. So I thought to myself, like, it'd be pretty cool if, like, he was a betrayer and we kill him. And so, it's a commentary, and so there will be spoilers, but I'm not going to comment on if that happens or not. But I do like the direction they went with it from a lore standpoint. So in my mind at first I was just like, it'd be cool if, we killed him. And I'll return to that point later. Wow, my video just basically exploded. I hope that didn't happen in the YouTube video. At first I wasn't sure if I should be shooting him, and again, that's a very cool concept of, is he still on our side? Should I be shooting him, or even his specter? And, this kind of confrontation that comes up. Now, another thing I want to talk about here before this video comes to a close is this comment that the operator makes. It's not the first or the last time he made it right here. That's a bit blurry. Let's go ahead and let it play out a bit. But the operator doesn't like being called child. A bit of an oddity, and I think part of that has been the wait since the second dream, where we've kind of had it in our head that, or at least I have, that we're a child of the Lotus, or a child Tenno, or, a teeny bopper chilling in the back of the spaceship. And so a lot of times passed, and of course, you have to develop a character, but that seems like a lot of time has passed since we were called a child by the Lotus, my child, so pure, so beautiful, or something within those lines. And then, a whole year later, Teshin calls us that, and obviously not that much time is supposed to pass between these quests, especially for a player who would just start now, get to the second dream, and then you get to the War Within, and it's, he doesn't like being called child, call the Lotus. But yeah, a lot of time had passed, so that was kind of a weird one, where it was just like, oh, shit, you have personality, damn. It's not a negative, it's not a positive, it's just kind of this interesting thought that it was just like, well, you've kind of been a child for the past year, so, or pupil, or, kind of these, kind of immaturing terms, these terms that denote a lack of maturity, a lack of insight, a lack of knowledge gained over time. And yet, you know, obviously, the Tenno have lived for a very long time. So, that's basically my thoughts on this first video. Let's go ahead and cut it there and move into part 2. I'm not going to actually cut this commentary. I'm just going to move into part 2 because part 2 is only like a 3-minute video. And I'm tired of shit and I don't want to really cut that much stuff. So, yeah, the second dream was phenomenal to me. Go ahead and let me just run my options here, turn up the master volume so I don't have to adjust that much in post. Yeah, I liked that they didn't play around with it. We already knew that Teshin was going to play some part in this quest. And if we had, you know, like, oh, there's a mystery going on, and we arrive at the Queen's Fortress, and oh god, Teshin, who knew? I'm happy that they didn't pull that it was just Teshin from Go, and yeah, it kind of gave it more of a, you know, what is this ally of ours doing kind of feel, as opposed to, alright, there's a betrayal, potentially, and we know there's a betrayal coming, you know, let's just get to it. So, yeah, the second mission was kind of a bit underwhelming. I'm not entirely convinced that we couldn't have just chased down a second Spectre on the moon. Again, this video was only, let's see, roughly, it's only 3 minutes and 15 seconds. I just sprint to the Spectre, and then I get out, and that's kind of what's to be expected out of some Warframe missions. However, if we were already in the first mission, I don't know, it strikes me as a interesting design choice. Doesn't bother me much, because I like that we get to see multiple tile sets within a different story mission, but that's obviously not that important, and I really don't think there's that much else to say here, but I'm going to let this play out just in case. I will say, after completing my playthrough of just the quest, very interested to see what kind of happens with this potential system within a system, and I'm more interested in what else the War Within came with as an update, more than like what the second dream came with, whereas you had sorties and you had the focus system, and here it seems like you have Riven mods, which seems to be a system within a system. We will get to those in the final video. Let's go ahead and end this part, and I will see you guys in part 2. Thanks for watching. And if you liked, do the thing.